When Malcolm Wallop was elected to the U.S. Senate, the press had some fun with the notion that this Wyoming rancher might someday switch over to the House of Lords in England, where his grandfather had served after a stint in the Wyoming House of Representatives. Wallop got a laugh out of that, but it wasn't going to happen. He was devoted to the great debates of American policy, obsessed about the country's defense, and in love with his ranch near Bighorn, where he died after a long illness last month.
Oh, I got into politics really by accident. When I came back from the Army and started ranching, there was a water problem that was affecting not only me, but everybody else in Wyoming, and it was just a piece of archaic circumstance in our law, and everybody kept saying it was easy to change, but legislature after legislature came back unchanged, and finally somebody told me that if I was so damn smart, why didn't I do it myself?
Wallop ran for the U.S. Senate in 1976, a long shot against incumbent Senator Gale McGee. He tapped Wyoming voters' ever-present dislike of the intrusive federal government with humor.
I think the federal government is going too far. Now they say, if you don't take the portable facility along with you on a roundup, you can't go. We need someone to tell them about Wyoming. Malcolm Wallop will. Malcolm Wallop for United States Senate. Ride with us, Wyoming.
Like many Wyoming politicians, an active citizen legislator in the State House became a conservative opponent of government activism at the federal level.
So many in Wyoming will always remember him as a warrior who fought with all his might to put an end to the battle that was going on back then, to increase federal regulations and reduce state and local control over many facets of life in Wyoming and the West.
For a few years, when Wallop was the senior member of a congressional delegation, including Al Simpson and Dick Cheney, Wyoming had a lot of clout in Washington. Wallop and Simpson sometimes butted heads, but they knew how to handle it from their days in the legislature, where they once battled over funding for the community college in Sheridan.
Well, boy, that was a hell of a debate. And he and I were on fire. We went out the hitching post the next night, lit up some cigars, gathered the troops around, had a brandy or two, and just healed up.
Malcolm Wallop made numerous appearances on Wyoming PBS, talking about everything from the Cold War to the idea of a monorail in Yellowstone.
I hope at some time or another that we would see fit to deny the Soviet airline Aeroflot landing rights in this country and landing rights to any other
positive or a negative reaction to any concept that is different than the current ones. But keep in mind that the park is probably $300 million behind just to put the road system back to an acceptable state without
expanding. The thing that is hurting us the most is the so-called entitlement program and their automatic increases related to the cost of living. Those are uncontrollable growths, and until we find a way to control them, regardless of what we do in defense, we're going to have large deficits.
There's a great sense of tradition, and the only thing I can say is that I'm a long and avid traditionalist, but when tradition gets in the way of the missions and roles and stops people from having the courage to function in new ways, I think it's a big mistake.
Long after he left the Senate, Malcolm Wallop continued his public service. We last saw him when he sponsored a debate in Sheridan through his Fund for Conversations on Democracy. Seriously ill, but greeting friends as he lay before a big picture window that opened onto his beloved Bighorn Mountains.
Senator Wallop spoke about his own beliefs, and I quote, "Government was not meant to possess us, rule us, encompass us, judge for us, substitute for us. It was meant to serve us. The size of our continent, its fabulous wealth, its indescribable beauty, the ships, tanks, and airplanes in our arsenal are no treasure compared to the moral character of the American people."